Dear friends, greeting to you. I greet you with affection from Rome and wish God's blessings on you and the presence of Our Lady and Don Bosco with you throughout this meeting that you are going to have in Chennai. And in my own name and in your name, I thank the Provincial of Chennai and the Vice Provincial Economer and all the others who have given you this place lovingly so that you can have this meeting there. They have understood the spirit and the relevance of Afsan Don Bosco, and therefore they are also God's blessings for you. I greet the leaders of the association, Mr. Jacob, Mr. Denzel, the coordinator of this meeting, and Mr. John Bosco, and all the others. I do not know if Father Joseph Manipadam, the regional coordinator for Salesian family, is with you. If he is there, I greet him too. I hear that he is interested in promoting Afsan. I am sure that he will do his best in order to help you. And I also remember some members who passed away from this association, particularly Mr. Joe from Dimapur. He has been a very enthusiastic member, but unfortunately the Lord has taken him for himself. Let us pray for the repose of his soul. And I wish you God's blessings and all the best during this meeting. Enjoy yourself as friends and discuss as intellectuals and as missionaries and as apostles, and come out with whatever you can do according to God's plan, according to the plan that God has for you in your associated life as Afsan Don Bosco. As I see the growth of Afsan Don Bosco, I feel that I must congratulate you in the first place, because you have come a long way. You have convinced many people. Lots of people and others now members of Afsan, either active or not so active, but nevertheless interested members of this association. You have your name is known. Your spirit has been more and more understood, and you have created for yourself an ID, a logo, a magazine, a newsletter, statutes, organization, etc., etc. And I see that you have also divided yourself into various groups for looking into the various aspects of your association or during your meetings, etc. I see I saw a list of 10 divisions, or let us say teams: home, training, social service, communication, educare, finance, empowerment, environment, entertainment, cushy wellness, etc., etc. In all these, I also found that there are lots of activities, that you are not just a name as a team, but you have a lot of activities already enlisted to be done in these little groups. And therefore, I can visibly see that the Lord is blessing Afsan Don Bosco. Don Bosco is happy with you, and this year when the Rector Major comes to India for the centenary celebration of Salesian's arrival in the Northeast, I am sure that some of you, or at least the leaders or people in that area, will go and meet him. He already knows well about you. I have talked so often about Afsan in our General Council to the Rector Major, and even here in various other associations. Many are surprised. Oh, ex-Salesian. I say that I tell them they are not just ex-Salesians. They are people who are inspired by the spirit of Don Bosco, and they want to do something, and because they feel the Lord is calling them to do that. Well, when people hear that, they appreciate that. I see that's a big force. I say, actually, the bigger force of Salesian formation is outside there in the world. Only a small percentage has joined the congregation. And in a certain way, those who are outside are much more free to do work, to contribute in so many ways for God's kingdom than even those who are maybe bowed down by community life, bowed life, and with a lot of institutional block, let's say, weight or blocks. Although institutions are a strength, they are also blocks. And therefore, we should not underestimate the power of the individuals who do work vis-a-vis institutions, and think that only through the institutions we can do plenty of work. You are powerful, and it is important that you recognize that. I thank you for this opportunity to just say a few words as you begin this meeting. As I said, yours is a vocation. It is not a lost vocation. It's a found vocation. You are not solutions in the sense of SDBs or let's say failed solutions, but you are in the spirit of Don Bosco, apostles of the solution spirit in the world. Secular arm, I would say the secular arm of the solution Don Bosco, solutions of Don Bosco. Of Don Bosco, I wouldn't say the solutions of Don Bosco. This is, sometimes by a slip of the tongue, I might say that, but I must insist that you have not been formed into an association to help the solutions. You are a vocation by yourself. You are independent, and you are there to work to contribute to the solution spirit in the world, because you have received the solution spirit. And therefore a vocation. I'm sorry for this interruption and the change of dress, etc. Yesterday I had sent you a video with a full speech, but part of it has not reached, so I would like to send the second piece which you can use for continuity's sake. So I was just talking about your vocation. Another important point that I would like you to remember is that while you are an association, you are also a vocation that is primarily individual. Let me explain myself. See, the religious STVs, FMAs and the Jesuits and others are called to work as communities, primarily in institutions, also outside, but they have to work together. And that's why they live in communities. But you are individual laypersons living your own families, having your own work problems, difficulties, etc. So you cannot always come together and work together for the young people. Some things you may be able to do, but your major part of the ministry that you can do for the young is by you as an individual, where you are. In your own family, in your own parish, or when you travel, when you meet people, when you meet youngsters, you can do something for them, say a nice word. It is not also to be counted only in terms of how much money you are able to collect and spend for the poor, etc., etc. But it is all a spirit, like what Don Bosco would have done had he seen some poor children on the road, or had he met some other people struggling for their life. Therefore, taking care of your families, your own work, facing your own problems in life, every day you will be in spirit like Don Bosco for everyone whom you meet. Not only for the poor, but for also those who are working with you. And therefore, do not be counting your success or failure only from the point of view of how much you are able to do as groups or as an association. The association is important for you to come together to strengthen yourself, strengthen each other in your vocation, to pray together and plan some activities, some of which may be group activities to the extent they are possible, but many of them can be resolutions made for all the members who can carry it out among themselves. Another thing is, of course, when you find another Afsan member who is in need, you will try to help them in as much as possible. But Afsan is not primarily an association to help other ex-aspirants, novices, etc., etc. Then we will get also many people who are coming to this association just for some help. Instead, the association is meant to help others, it is not an inward-looking association. And finally, I conclude, dear friends, asking you or proposing to you to cultivate among yourself a great devotion to Our Lady, to dedicate this association also to the protection of Our Lady, Help of Christians. She, as a great mother who guided Don Bosco and whom you all learned to love in your own families and much more when you came to the Solution House, will be your mother and will protect you always and will help your association and your vocation also to grow and flourish in the best way possible. God bless you. Have a wonderful meeting. Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity. Bye.